Time to pull up a chair. We've got another great story for you today in the rLounge. Setting personal boundaries with your family is like trying to play Monopoly with house rules that keep changing. Just when you think you've got a handle on things, someone lands on go to jail, and you're back to square one. Today in the rLounge, sometimes the only way to win is to avoid the game altogether. Up first, some family members are more interested in guilt trips than actual trips. Am I the a-hole for making my family cancel their vacation because I won't watch their dogs? My parents, 82 male, 75 female, asked if I would help them book a much-needed vacation. They also asked me to do the same for my brother, 43, and sister-in-law, 33, because they wanted to take a family vacation in September. My husband, 46, and I, 41 female, can't afford to go because I'm currently out of a job. Even though this would be the first family vacation I will have ever missed, and it made me really sad, I said it would of course help. My mom even mentioned to me that in a way it's good because I'd be able to watch my brother's pugs and my parents' chihuahua. Here's the thing about watching the dogs. It's like a 24/7 job that requires me to stay at my brother's house. The dogs are wonderful, but very high maintenance. Because of this, I've been telling my brother for nearly 10 years that he needed to hire a dog sitter. Money isn't an issue for him. I've dog sat for them 3 times this past year, varying from 1 to 5 nights. They paid me well, but I do not feel comfortable staying at their house, and I find the round-the-clock care exhausting. My husband and I have 5 cats, and we are no stranger to feeling like our pets are our kids, but we don't have dogs for a reason. Now, I'm supposed to be booking this trip for my brother, but he hasn't even asked me about watching the dogs. Saturday at family dinner, everyone is there except my sister-in-law, who was ill. My brother was sitting across from me, so I reach out to hold his hand and say that I love him. I love the pugs, but I can't watch them when they go on vacation, and they need to get a dog sitter. I said it was just too much to ask me to be trapped at their house for 7 nights, and that I've been asking him to hire a dog sitter for nearly a decade. I even offered suggestions and said I'll help find someone. He starts to get reactive and says that they won't watch my cats anymore. I said that's fine, we have a cat sitter, but I point out that I asked them if they can help. They, on the other hand, didn't ask me. My brother finally concedes that it is a lot to ask 7 nights and 5 dogs. Excuse me? Yes, 5 dogs, because his mother-in-law apparently was planning to go too. So now added to the mix are 2 Italian greyhounds. I stay calm and gently point out that I felt this way before knowing there was 5 dogs. Can you imagine how I felt? He seemed to understand. By the time I left dinner, there were hugs and kisses and all was well. I knew my brother was upset, but he seemed to understand, and I was really proud of putting up boundaries. The next evening, I called my parents to see if they have heard from my brother. Apparently, he called them after he got home from family dinner and was blindsided by me. My sister-in-law was just as upset as him too. They think I'm throwing a tantrum because I can't go on the vacation. Well, yes, that sucks. I told them my real issue is being trapped at their house for 7 nights. Now they are canceling the vacation because I won't watch the dogs. Am I the a-hole for telling them I won't do it? Let's check in with the community for some opinions. First up, not the a-hole. They were grown people who had plenty of time to find arrangements for their dogs. Didn't they have somebody else to watch the dogs when you all traveled together? Is this a weird ploy to punish you by making you feel guilty or something? Seems reactive. The OP replies, the only time we have all traveled together is for my brother's wedding, which the dogs came to. This would be an international beach trip, which we haven't had in, I guess, over a decade? To be fair, he couldn't go on the last trip in 2015 and I went. But I only had 1 cat that had no special requirements at the time, so my roommate watched her. So I feel bad for him not being able to not going on family vacation, although it feels self-induced to me at this point. But I am very emotional. I can't tell if my judgment is clouded. Someone else chimes in, not the a-hole. They can hire a pet sitter. It's not your household to take responsibility for. Edit. I also don't understand why they needed your help to book it. The OP replies, oops, I took that part out because I was way over the character limit. I can book like a travel agent and waive my commission so they can save a few hundred. I realize how awful that sounded in context of this post, but it's easy for me to do, and as someone that loves to do things for others, but currently doesn't have the budget for it, it's something I'm happy to do. It's not like you're refusing to help out out of spite. You've given them more than enough support over the years. Your brother wanting to be his full-time pug nanny while they all sip margaritas on the beach is a bit much. And now, because you don't want to be unpaid kennel staff, the whole vacation's off? That's on them, not you, OP. Maybe they need to hire a pet sitter and get a reality check. Update. My brother apologized and we were having a very good and calm conversation. We were getting to a point where I was willing to make a compromise because I finally felt heard. Then my sister-in-law, who had had an attitude the whole time, snappily said, "Okay, so what do we need to do to resolve this?" Things started to get heated because I felt her tension and tried to acknowledge it. I said that I was really hurt by my sister-in-law's actions. I left it out of my OG post, but she was complaining about helping me clean my house before my wedding. I later found out that she told my dad that I had moldy dishes in the sink, and that was humiliating. I said it hurt a lot when I learned she brought it up again as part of her argument why I should watch the dogs. She sarcastically said, "Oh, so I'm the villain?" I said, "I feel like from what I have gathered from my parents this past week that you think I'm sabotaging this vacation because I'm jealous that I can't go. And if you think that, you really must not know me, and that hurts." And she said with the same rude tone as earlier, "I must not know you because that is 100% what I think it is." My eyes welled up because I feel like she had just sucker punched me, and she looked at me and said, "Here comes the temper tantrum." I stood up to leave. Then I turned around again and said, over everyone yelling my name to calm down, "If you, with all your time, money, and resources, decide to not go on vacation, that is your own decision and not because of me." I got the hell out of the house and sat in the car until my husband came out. She was in my wedding. I have been so happy to have her as my sister-in-law. I've been nothing but loving to her. Now I see she doesn't give an F about me. I'm gutted. It's clear that she has zero respect for me and probably never even liked me. I'm devastated because my family is everything, and I feel like my relationship with my brother will forever be altered. She is not the person I thought she was, and now I'm not only not watching the dogs, but I guess I'm also accepting that I don't have a sister like I thought I did. Let's get another couple of community reactions. Not the a-hole. Cut contact with a sister-in-law. They're mad because you won't watch their dogs, and that's on them, not you. Someone else adds, "I'm just curious about the anger displayed by sister-in-law. Her comments and responses to the conversation would have torpedoed any such discussion with anyone, including Mother Teresa. I hope the rest of the family realizes that sister-in-law is a two-faced a-hole and villain to the nth degree. ETA, not the a-hole." You stood your ground, and rightfully so. Family vacations don't come with mandatory emotional manipulation and baggage. You've seen her true colors now, and while it hurts, at least you know where you stand. Sometimes walking away from toxic dynamics is the healthiest thing you can do, even if it feels like you're losing someone you thought was close to you. What would you do? Up next, the golden child forgot how to share the spotlight. Brother complains about family using his inherited summer cabin while staying at our home for free. Like, grow up for F's sake. He's 40 and has no idea about how to spend or save money. He got Dad's cabin worth $100,000 and is now complaining that we, the other siblings, got money, 10 grand, and he wants cash too, to buy a new guitar because he still thinks he can make it big in music. No. Meanwhile, spending hundreds on design clothes for his teen son, who he often yells and cusses at. He stays with us many weekends when he has band practice in our town, because our terminally ill mom lives with us and wants him by, and because I'm the scapegoat who was just ready to buy a house with my husband when Dad died 2 years ago, and Mom has been dying for years now. Well, she's kicking cancer and inviting my a-hole brother over every chance she gets. We, my family, haven't even used the cabin once since Dad passed, and I know Mom still pays a lot towards it. But I'm getting very mildly infuriated about my golden child brother and narcissistic mother. I've decided to ban him from here since his last stupid outburst. No more visits here without his wife, who I adore, and kids. It really sucks having to live with your narcissistic mom who so obviously favors your brother. She can't live with him because obviously he doesn't want that, nor can he afford the money or time. Plus, it seems his marriage is failing soon too. Update 1. Here's a little update for you. Mom started paying rent, initially the exact amount I thought about asking before. And she said she could give more if we want, and we'll still pay some bills too. So it seems like she wants to stay. The money certainly helps. She's still trying to invite brother over again though, so there's going to be a tough talk soon, but I'm sick right now and keeping my distance. Update 2. Another update. These aren't all personally just for you, by the way. I just noted that you asked for an update, so here's your karma, whether you want it or not. We turned the guest room into our toddler's room and removed a bunch of furniture, which means no one is staying here overnight ever again unless we give them an air mattress downstairs. And we wake up early and noisy every gosh darn morning. So even if we welcomed them, I'd be surprised if we got a comeback. Now let's get some community comments, shall we? First up, if he inherited the cabin, what exactly is your mom paying for in relation to it? The OP replies, well, today she paid hundreds to maintain the boat that's necessary to get there, and that we stored in our yard all winter. And she still gets bills for it for some reason, taxes and waste, etc. There's a lot that she prefers to hide from my brother and pay herself because, again, he's the golden child who gets volatile angry if he needs to do anything else but guitar. Someone else chimes in, definitely tell your mom that if she invites him again, she will be leaving with him. The OP replies, we've told her that he needs to ask us. It's funny, sad to me though, that my brother is too scared to text me instead of always asking my husband, because he knows I don't mince my words, I guess. My husband is more diplomatic. But maybe it's just because my brother is a misogynistic narcissistic that he'd rather talk to my husband than me, his sister. I even told my mom earlier last week that he's welcome to come if his wife and children come too, which was fine until the last minute my stupid brother informed Mom only he was coming with his teenager because he doesn't have to look after him. He effed off for most of the time to go play guitar anyway. Sounds like you've reached the end of your patience, and honestly, who could blame you, OP? You've been juggling way too much, supporting your terminally ill mom, dealing with your brother's delusions of rock stardom, and trying to maintain peace at home while also navigating some really unfair family dynamics. I get why you'd ban him. He sounds like a total headache, and it's ridiculous that he expects more money after getting the cabin. Not to mention, the whole golden child treatment from your mom only adds insult to injury. It's good that your mom stepped up with rent, but her still pushing for your brother to come over is a lot. You've got enough on your plate. Prioritizing your own sanity and family is more than fair at this point. Stick to those boundaries and let him deal with his own mess. Update 3. My mother, who lives with me and my family, is going through cancer, supposedly dying, and I already talked about my idiot brother's, 40 male, and her plan to get him in my house for one night so he can get free babysitting from her and a place to sleep after his guitar gig this weekend. I told her no, I don't think so, like 3 weeks ago. Then my idiot brother texted my husband today asking to come, because his wife is going to a music festival and he has this hobby gig, so he tried to invite himself over again. My husband responded no, not possible because of our reasons like him traveling and wanting to be alone after. Had my brother asked me, which he never does because he's scared of my snarky responses, I would have asked stuff like, when's the last time we were invited to your place or your summer house? Did we ever invite you guys over? No? It's always been you inviting yourself. Well, no more. And how effing dare you think you're entitled to come anytime you please while complaining that people, family, are using your cabin like Dad wanted while staying at our place so often? Jesus effing Christ. You guys, he just had all of our family over at his cabin and didn't even invite us for one day. Not that we would have gone because F him, but the audacity and self-delusion. Not only from him, but our mom too. I think my idiot brother reported back to my mom about our refusal because she huffed and puffed and then locked herself in her room all day before she was being so nice. But I saw right through that BS and knew the ask was coming. I'm actually surprised my idiot brother asked today. Usually he waits until the last minute. He's banned. We just haven't said that outright to them because there's a lot going on, and I do like his wife, but I wonder how long it's going to take my idiot brother and mother to realize. Time for some more relevant comments. First up, wow, so he invites all the extended family to the cabin and ignores his sister. Yikes. The OP replied, he invited all the other siblings and their whatevers and mom, not sure who else. Just like Dad's funeral, where my family sat together and excluded me and my family to sit in the far end corner. Man, I'm getting angrier by the minute thinking back on all the BS. Someone else adds, so why are you letting your mother have access to you like that? Why isn't she living with any of your other siblings? The OP replies, this past year, I've started therapy and I've come to realize I'm the scapegoat. I've been bullied and ostracized and ridiculed by my family all my life. When I tried and very nearly succeeded in ending my life, none of them gave a dang. My therapist has helped me build boundaries, and it's a shock to my mom and idiot brother. I've built that coffin now. I'm hammering the last nails in. It's frustrating that your mom is still trying to pull strings for him. But it's great that you're recognizing the dynamic and setting boundaries. Your therapy sounds like it's paying off. Hammering those last nails in the coffin is a powerful way to put it. Keep holding your ground. You've taken on way more than your share of the emotional labor, and it's about time your brother and mom realize the free ride is over. What do you think? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. And thank you for joining us today in the rLounge. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. See you soon.